You wake at 3:45 in the afternoon. Please rouse. It is dark now.
I got a rousing purple image.
You succeeded, if you need to know.
Gustav, your beast speaks again. You know, you're gonna meet so many people tonight. And I think, because I know you, they're gonna alienate you. They're not gonna approve of you. You're gonna be alone. Well, you'll always have me, right?
I have others too. Not just you. You make for terrible company.
It is, it goes quiet again.
Still the afternoon. I don't know how long it's been since I've been awake in the afternoon.
Welcome to, winter in Scandinavia.
This is paradise. This icy, cold paradise. He looks out the window, and it's like frozen, crackling ice everywhere. Ah, magnificent.
It's actually quite beautiful if you go down and look over the fjord and the ice, which is only broken in the middle where the ferry will sail and repeatedly break the ice. And if it's really cold for really long, you can actually walk from one end of the fjord to the other. You are picked up at 18 o'clock or 6 p.m. to most of the world, I guess. At least the English part of it. I just want to go around the table and with the corner I see here and ask, first of all, Ivan, are you wearing anything special? And is there anything you're specifically bringing or not bringing? You muted.
I'm wearing nice clothing, not a full, really fancy getup, but enough that I will stand out compared to the rest of my pack mates.
I think John will stand out the most, but...
Well, stand out in a good way compared to my pack mates then.
Anything you're specifically bringing or not bringing?
No, nothing interesting.
All right. Gustav, same question.
A classic yellow raincoat. And that's going to be his attire. And then he's going to bring a gun. A handgun. A very nice one.
Hidden or
Hidden,
just
yes.
on the hip?
It's going to be in underneath the raincoat in his waistband.
Okay, so you're not wearing a Texan style.
No.
So you look like the caretaker of Curious George, then.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. Echo, anything special what you're wearing or bringing, not bringing?
Yeah, so she has zhuzhed it up a little bit tonight. She's wearing a black shirt and black Dickies pants with black boots. She's ditched the jeans for tonight. She left the apron at home, and she remembered that she had a fox fur stole. So you just see a fox draped around her neck with like a little head here and a little tail here. So she's got it buttoned up, and she is strapped with some tools she might use in the field for stripping a carcass. So, not weapons per se, but they could be weaponized if needed.
Like
Tools of the trade.
A hunting knife, or what are you talking about?
I think she'd have she would have a couple different blades on her, one that's serrated, one that's not. I think she might have one scalpel, just, you know.
Yep. Nastya? Still in the mourner's outfit, or have you decided to go with something different?
Is this, am I to understand that the context for this is our Solstice meeting?
Yes.
A week later? Okay. So she's going to come dressed in black. That's just what she wears every single day. And she is, but it's a cross between it's formal still, kind of suit-esque, but functional in the sense that, like, it's not ballroom, like formal. So business formal is more what
Like
it would be.
a dress suit kind of
Right,
thing. Yeah.
exactly. A small firearm, tastefully located in a place that is accessible but not apparent. But other than that, she's dressed as she is in full business attire, black, and ready to, of course, act as a representative for our Jarl.
Yes. John, full glory or wrapped up?
Yeah, wrapped up. Don't worry, I know the deal. No, John has very little on him. Just utilitarian clothing and thick wool top with a scarf. Nothing more, nothing less.
Anything you're bringing, not bringing?
There's nothing else for him to bring. He doesn't own anything else.
Yep. Fair enough. As I said, you were picked up at 6 o'clock in the evening. A limousine is parked at a dirt parking lot at the edge of the forest where your haven is located. After about an hour's drive, mostly on the motorway, you reach the area where the park is located. It's a large football stadium / entertainment location. Usually for concerts or large gatherings, but it is built like a football stadium. Just where you can kind of make a ceiling and it turns into a concert hall. The area is heavily watched by police and various guards. A lot of cars are arriving. There seems to be some sort of award ceremony taking place for actors and artists. I don't know what the equivalent would be, but like something like an Oscar or an Emmy or some red carpet bullshit. Just for the very small amount of Danish celebrities compared to other countries. At a checkpoint, the driver shows a guard an ID card, and is then directed away from the main event. You drive around the building and into an underground parking complex, and then the driver lets you out, opens the door to a maintenance area, where you walk through some steam tunnels, and then arrive at a storage area, where the driver he waves at a camera in the corner, and the wall begins to slide aside, revealing a large staircase, a large stony medieval looking staircase. Something that looks like it's about 6 or 8 centuries. Walk down the stairs, and as the stairs turn, you see a young man, mid-20s, short beard, short brown hair, blue eyes, casually dressed, just jeans and a hoodie. He is wearing a backpack, and he just nods as you come down the stairs, and points towards some large double doors, where you hear like Viking folk music and voices from the other side of it. Gustav, Echo, and Nastia, can you give me a wits and awareness?
Gone are the days of Julian. It's a sad thing. Shit.
What indeed.
What the devil is that?
That is a bestial failure if I've ever seen one.
Oh no.
We do what we do in this time.
There's pure snake eyes right there.
They're looking at me. Those two eyes are looking at me.
It's fine. It's the passive thing. Echo. Same roll with an awareness. Nastia, the difficulty is 5, I will tell you, because you're pretty close. Do you want to reroll?
I will.
Echo, want to reroll?
What is the difficulty?
5.
Oh, then I guess with a 3, I will.
You can reroll one of them, but there is a chance for.
No,
okay.
I'm not going to use willpower for one die.
That's fair enough.
No.
I failed on both of those, so that was a complete waste.
You walk through the double doors.
May I succeed with a cost?
Oh no.
Do you want to owe your beast?
Oh, no, not for this.
A Faustian bargain.
Yes, you do.
I'll save the Faustian bargains for later.
Well, it's more than willing to help you. Your minds are usually aligned.
She wants to maintain control, and turning it over to the beast is something she only does reluctantly.
With a 4 and your effort, I will give you this. Before you walk, before I describe the room, but as you're walking into the room behind the double doors, and you that's the only one you turn and look towards the young man standing there. He has all your weapons in his hands, and then he's just gone with a smile.
She's impressed. She's not going to say a thing. She's impressed.
The room is a very large hall with high-hanging torches and braziers. It is furnished with 6 wooden long tables and a small stage to the left where a band is playing, and a larger stage at the end of the hall where 10 high-back throne-looking chairs sits. Along the right wall, tables with food, bottles of vitae and ale casks, you think, sits like a buffet with everything a good feast needs. You are met with the gazes of more than 30 people, pale as corpses, and all with their fangs proudly showing on their predatory smiles. A woman, the hostess, beautiful, long platinum hair, green eyes, dressed in kind of I don't know what the color is, like a bronze beige blazer with a black shirt and black dress pants, high heels, walks towards you and greets you as you come in. Welcome, I'm Sarah. Please make yourselves home. If you have need of anything, please feel free to come to me. She shakes all of your hands, if you allow her to, with a warm smile.
Delighted to make your acquaintance.
Gustav with his raincoat does like kind of like the dainty wrist thing, like pleasure to meet you, you know.
Echo will she'll secure her stole and just put her hand out pretty stiffly. Give it one good shake and be like, nod of the head.
Firm handshake. Not trying to push any force into it or show off. She seems very polite. She smiles, and it seems genuine. She seems... Well, she looks dead right now because she's not blushed, but she seems metaphorically full of life. You're kind of walking in and shake everyone's hands. You see 2 men in kind of the middle of the crowd and people sitting around. 2 fucking mountains men kind of pushing each other and looks like they're about to fight. Sarah turns around and just yells, "Hey, Dan, Balder, don't make me come over there. Separate." And these 2 mountainous men, they kind of just walk to each other's corner with their kind of head bowed. Like, she speaks in a very stern, almost maternal voice that these dudes seems to respect a lot, even though she is pretty average of size. I have changed the map on Roll20 so you can at least see some of it. Not all the people are there, but there is a lot of people. More than 30 kindred are in here. The only humans are the band on the stage. As you kind of walk in and people stare and it's all awkward and you don't know anyone, and the door opens again and a group of 6 people walk in, led by a white-haired woman with ice blue eyes who is covered in like a black robe, and there is like applause and booing around the room. Seems to be varied opinions about these, and some of them are just like taking the applause, some fingers go up, and the woman in front is just this shit-eating grin on her face, like she's just enjoying whatever goes on in her mind. Kind of settle in, people sit around, you quickly notice that people seem to group up in either their respectable packs, but some of them are also maybe more affiliated than others. I'm not going to describe everyone unless you actually go engage with them, because there's so fucking many kindred in here. I'm more than happy to if someone interests you, but we'll get to that. The Jarls, though, they are the important ones. They kind of stand gathered around the stage at the moment, just small talking. There is a woman. She is dressed in, it looks like a tight Victorian dress almost. She's about 60, hair in a bun. She has that like very kind grandma look, and also something very wise about her. The woman next to her is, her skin and hair and eyes completely blue. She would break the Masquerade immediately. And she's probably the elf woman that Wolfric spoke about, because she also had pointed ears. Then there is a man, looks like late 20s, maybe early 30s. He's covered in like leather head to toe. He's kind of a mix between, I don't know, Kurt Cobain and Leon Kennedy. He has the very grunge look about him. His face also portrays just an air of fuck everything. I don't want to be here. This is bullshit. This is like very, very Bruja, you think. Then there is a bald man, clean shaven on both head and face. He has a large tattoo on his forehead, and he's just standing there with his eyes closed, that they never seem to open, and you don't know if he's asleep or meditating or what the hell is going on, but his eyes are definitely deliberately closed. When you look, they're not sewn together or anything, so he just seems to be in his own world. Gustav, you kind of get a sense from him. This is a kindred spirit. And of course there's Sarah, and the white hair woman walks towards the stage, and there's man again, just wearing a black robe. His skin is very gray, his long fingers, scaly, almost black nails that look like claws. His eyes are piss yellow, and he is, you think, definitely Nosferatu, but not in the classical look sense, because the rest of the Nos in here, they have a very stereotypical Nos look. But this guy he's not handsome. And he looks more like a shrunken corpse than the classical Nos appearance. And there is a man who is a little bit more tan than most people in here. Probably of Southern European descent. He looks like something straight out of a Prohibition era, Italian mafia kind of era. A pinstripe suit, full beard with a bit of gray in it. And you also see 2 people who are dressed almost exactly the same, and like the first thing that comes to mind is Italians. And the last one seems pretty mundane compared to the rest of them. Like a man in his 50s, just like a grey shirt, short hair, parted to the side, just at 5 o'clock, like barely any beard. Just sits there, smiles, and very friendly looking. Like he's just looking at everyone and enjoying that there are so many people here, and very gregarious almost. And when people kind of settle in, then there is this feeling again, and you see it in everyone. The presence of ancients arriving. There's a quiet, it just falls over the room completely. Nobody dares to speak or say anything. The music dies out. The humans just kind of... They seem to be almost switched off. They go completely blank in their expression and stare at the floor. The doors open again. They don't come in as mist this time, but the man leading them is Wolfric. You have met him before. And the one right behind him is a young-looking woman, probably died in her late teens, maybe early 20s, clad in a grey robe with silver embroideries, and she wears various talismans around her neck. She's singing in the old tongue, and her song makes you feel calm. You have no beast inside you. It is like the curse that your blood carries is just gone. It is so completely soothing and also scary in a sense, because you also feel like you cannot call upon your powers as long as she's singing. But it is, in theory, a nice feeling. And the last woman, a little bit older, just worn black clothes. Doesn't look modern at all. Nothing special about her. She's kind of pretty, also in a very warrior shield maiden kind of way. Her hair is braided, and she is carrying in her belt a sheath with a broadsword in it. And they kind of walk towards the stage. Sarah gestures towards you, Ivan, and kind of just waves you up, so you can take your chair.
I'll walk up, yeah.
All the Jarls sit down, and Wolfric speaks, and his voice is very booming, like it's been amplified some way, but, you know, strangers to magical powers in general. Sons and daughters of the Aesir and the Vanir, it brings me great pleasure to see you all at the winter solstice feast. We thank our Jarl, Sarah, for hosting. And everyone kind of raises their drink or horn full of blood and yells "Skål!" and it just goes around the room like a wave. And when everything is quiet again, this year we do not only celebrate the All-Father and the beginning of a new year, but also the arrival of a new Jarl. Our community grows stronger with the addition of more to defend our precious lands from the Camarilla and the Christians. And then another round of "Skål" goes through the room. He turns towards you, Ivan, and says, "Rise." I assume you do so.
Yes.
The red-haired woman, she bites the palm of her hand and puts a bloody handprint in the middle of your face. You're almost tempted to lick it off because it smells so freaking delicious, but you are able to restrain yourself. And Wolfric says again, "Welcome to our lands, Jarl Eyvind of Hollowbrook." And then another "Skål" goes around the room. And Wolfik just says, "Let the feast begin." And the 3 Methuselahs just evaporates into mist. And people begin to mingle. And before I have like the free-for-all, I have a few things I have to go through. And I will start with Gustav, since he's on a bit of a timetable.
Forgive me, my friends.
That feeling, the feeling of web amplifies. It's stronger in here, like you are close to the source of it. You know, it came from a person, and that person was destroyed. You're not the smartest guy, but you're not new either. I mean, you are clever in your own right, and you're able to figure this out, especially because you're Malkavian blood. But it seems like someone has figured out to recreate the web. And you don't know how, and it's scary. You did like the company, but the quiet is also kind of nice. At least less distracting. A red-haired woman with glasses, dressed in an orange suit, of all things. Hair in a bun. She walks towards you. Hello.
Oh, hello.
She reaches out with that kind of hand and says, "Marina, Dr. Marina."
Oh, it's so good to find a sibling, and he'll do like take it and kiss it and look at her.
Yes, I felt a newcomer.
Yes, I know we have another fellow sibling over there, and he like looks over right at the Ulf. I believe I looked at like the list.
Yeah. Yeah, he's weird.
By the standards of our kind. As he's standing there and he's like making squeaking noises with his raincoat. Like, really?
It's very, very hard to have a conversation with him.
Perhaps I will give it a try. But I don't know, who are you? Oh, forgive my manners. Name's Walter O'Sullivan. And he does a little bow. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
She smiles and says, "Of course you are."
That's what the Danish government thinks. You know. He does like the.
I know who you are. It's fine. I'm more interested in the fact that you would try to hide it. How do you feel when you have to be your true self?
My true self? I don't really mind it. I don't like the paperwork, of course, but let's just say it helps me live the life I want to live. Makes it easier.
Why do you think that is? She pulls out a little block from her pocket and a pen.
Should I find a couch and lay across it to tell you about the day I was born?
That would actually be great. We could start from the beginning.
Oh, well, could you direct me to the nearest refreshment? I would like to feed real quick, and then I would love to do that. I would love to, really.
We should definitely schedule appointments. Most people do not care for this sort of thing. I'm writing a paper on the beast, and this helps my research tremendously.
You're published?
I can't really publish. You understand why I'm dead, but.
Oh yes, of course. Sorry, I forgot. I did not mean to open a wound.
But I am a doctor, and
excellent,
a psychologist.
Well, I would love to schedule, so perhaps you can come to my domicile. We have fine furniture there, very well, fine interior decorating.
Oh yeah, I know where you live. Yes, I've seen the house.
You know where I live? Oh yes, you could see it from miles. Yes. Quite a palatial estate, though I have had my ghouls doing some renovations on it, you know.
I know you think highly of it. But yes, as she points towards the bottles and the casks, I believe they have... The casks are something... Like they had humans only drink meat for like a long time before they tapped them. So they have like a honey thing, and in the bottles is just ordinary blood that has been preserved by extraordinary means, because usually the well, it tastes like shit, you know, after it's been out for a while.
Oh, of course, yes. Well, if it's bottled, then I don't even have to wear this. And he removes the raincoat and just leaves it on the floor. And he's wearing like what in the picture that's on the thing, like kind of like a nice, very elegant and fine, like white shirt and matching pants that has like a V-neck down. And he's wearing like some jewelry and stuff. He looks like he's actually dressed for a party now. It's like, I wore this for the splatter. I've been to a few Camarilla shindigs, and usually they have like bodies hanging around you just drink from. This is far more civilized.
Most of... I don't want to say us. Most of them frown upon that kind of thing.
It's very refreshing.
But yeah, she kind of points around where people are sitting with drinking horns and cheering, and blood does fly around. It's like, yeah, but the raincoat or maybe an umbrella wouldn't be a bad idea. And if you're standing too close to some of the rowdy people, there is alcohol in some of this, and it will affect us eventually.
Or perhaps then he picks it up and kind of wears it like an overcoat, like, you know, not putting his hands in the sleeves, but just over his shoulder like it's a fine coat. He looks like a moron, but all right. Well, thank you, Marina.
Dr. Marina.
Dr. Marina, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Have you noticed that the windows are open again?
Yes. She smiles.
The
Proudly.
lighthouse light is on.
Yes.
You wouldn't have...
it out.
So you're the source of it?
Yes, but the range is not great. I'm not that old, you see. I don't have the reach.
May I ask what the purpose is for doing this? Why would you open the pipe again?
Felt lonely without it.
I
Like
suppose.
something had been taken away that made us special.
I suppose there's always a different way of looking at it. All right, well, Dr. Marina, I will go and get refreshment. Should I grab you something?
No, I'm all right, but thank you. Pleasure to meet you.
All right. It does like a little bow, and he's gonna go over to the bottles.
You see her taking notes as you're walking away. John! I assume you're kind of standing by yourself.
Just accidentally standing behind people, no matter who's trying to look.
A Nos walks over to you, but he's not sitting with the other Nos. He's the very punk look, spikes on the shoulders and leather jacket and biker boots, worn jeans. He just kind of stares at you from a distance for a moment, just like before he decides to reach out and shake your hand, like he's trying to measure you.
John will look at their hand and then back at them, but he won't offer anything.
And he takes his hand back. Doesn't look offended. He just looks curious. And says in a German accent that I'm not gonna do because it's gonna sound mocking. I'm Werner.
John.
You're not with any kind of gestures towards the rest of the Nosferatu.
Just shakes his head.
May I ask why?
New here.
And they haven't tried to indoctrinate you?
No, but it's a waste of their time.
It's good to hear. It's uncommon. I'm with, he points towards Elias. I left them, so I was just wondering if I met a kindred spirit that didn't adhere to the usual backstabbing, wheeling and dealing and selling secrets to anyone who would pay kind of bullshit.
I'm happy to do the Nosferatu dark and brooding, but not the talking.
I can respect that. Well, I don't want to waste your time or force you into a prolonged conversation, but I was just curious, and maybe we are kindred spirits. And if you're ever in Odin's Lake, you should come say hi.
I doubt that I will be, but okay.
Well, you might need us at some point. I have information. It's not gonna cost you anything.
You sound like you fit in with them.
No, they're gonna charge you. A lot. And then add some extra on top to keep your secrets.
Sounds delightful.
I'm with the group that kind of... Well, we watched the Camarilla. We're on the front lines, as Elias would say, but very little fighting happens. I'm the Reeve.
Is there much Camarilla activity? I've not seen anything or heard anything while I've been here.
Well, the only, like, I can tell the only thing they're doing right now is buying property, and we're just kind of messing with that. Make sure they don't leave the giant hotel they live in. Make sure they don't feel welcome.
That sounds pointless, but sure, there's a reason.
Well, I just follow my Jarl. He's Bruja, so a bit more spirited than I am. I just punch people who break his rules.
Doesn't sound like you're punching, it sounds like you're, well, making business deals more difficult.
Usually by punching people. He gives a smile.
Fair enough.
Just kinda nods and takes a step back before he disappears into the crowd again. Back to his table, not with the other Nos. Nastya, you are approached by one of the Jarls. The shrunken Nosferatu man with the yellow eyes, wearing the Sith robe almost, speaks in a Russian accent and says, Miss Raskova, pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure's mine as well.
You were very, very hard to dig up information on. Redacted should be your name.
Would be disappointing if it was. Don't you agree?
It was a challenge. It intrigued me. I learned a bit about your skills. I might have a reason to trade with you.
What's on offer? And while she's doing this, she's going to position herself in such a way as to, she's gathering information on as much as she can. Nastya has at least, a few dots in both awareness and insight, so she's clocking everybody in the room that she can. So, like, right now, she is in full profile information sponging mode, and she's multitasking by basically having kind of the conversation with him while paying attention to the room. So yeah.
Full spy mode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got it.
Well, eventually you're gonna need information, and I have the information. I have all the information, and I might have need of someone with your skills. So I simply wanted to let you know that I'm open to dealing, and since you are also a child of the motherland, we have common blood. At least if we go far enough back.
As you know, it would require my trust to be able to accept such information from you. What's on offer?
Is there anything specific you want to know now? I'm sure.
Just enough to trust you.
Well,
I trust you know what that is. If you want me to work with you, you obviously recognize the skills. And I am willing to act on that, to go on mission. But I would need to be able to trust you, as you know. Or you should.
always deal in boons or favors, of course, or direct trade.
You need my skills.
I need someone with a face. And he looks at the rest of the Nos.
She frowns and she says, I'm waiting.
I take great interest in taking care of our people. And I believe you might be able to help with that. I have some he kind of smiles. And like he's thinking about the right word, but then he just says it directly. I control the Russian mob. And sometimes I need to have someone do jobs that they're not able to do because they're not on our side of the war.
Messy and unreliable.
Yeah, and most of them are goons. I trust their leader, but she's a bureaucrat.
Tell me something about yourself that will make me trust you.
I don't know what I can say. I'm a fellow Rush. They call me the Dragon.
Give me a secret.
He looks around the room. About who?
If not yourself, then someone else in this room. Something that they wouldn't want me knowing. Something worth knowing.
She points at Echo. Says, she owes people big favors. And by associating with her, eventually those favors will become your problem. Now you're prepared.
She says, she nods once. And she says, you know how to find me. Give me clear information about our mutual targets. What precisely you would like to have done with them. And by that I mean something more than taking care of, because as you and I both know, that could mean any number of things.
Of course.
And she stops. It's like she's clenching her jaw just a bit. She says, pride myself on doing the job properly.
Nods and then hands you a card.
She takes it without even breaking stride, without even breaking her gaze from the room. She's like,
This is the number to my ghoul. A way to get in touch. Also, if she calls, you will be able to recognize the number.
shall I await that call?
Yes.
She nods again.
He smiles. You see, like, because he finally exposes his shark-like teeth.
Mm-hmm. Her eyes slides to the corner a little bit, just a moment to see that, then goes back to the room.
He just nods and then goes back to the rest of the Norse. Besides two, who seems to be hanging out with other people. Echo, speaking of Norse, the woman at the Nosferatu group kind of stands up and walks towards you. She is carrying a little poodle on her arm. And she stretches out her like long fingered hand to shake yours. Sophie?
Echo, pleasure to meet you. And who is this in your arms?
Oh, Snuffles. He's for my familus.
Oh, you're Millis.
He's so cuddly. And he will bite someone's face off if they get too close.
Does he do any besides that?
It's great conversation. And he
Have a way
doesn't...
with animals?
Yeah, we kind of have to. But I'm not really into rats. Like some of my friends. I have information for you.
Was it for me specifically, or how do you know that I want the information?
Oh, you definitely want the information, and this the kind of the voice portrays a threat.
And who is it that determined ahead of time that I would know what I want without asking me first?
Well, let's just say that I found a lot of things that you don't want getting out, and therefore I believe you owe me a boon for keeping that information.
Maybe. But I don't think that reputation is something that I necessarily care about. Is it something that you care about?
I just deal in information. Our reputation is flawless. If people want to buy, we sell. But because I like you, I'm willing to keep that information if you just do a little tiny thing for me in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna burn those papers. We don't have to talk about them ever again.
I mean, you're welcome to if you want. I'm usually out with the animals anyways. They don't give a fuck about that kind of thing.
No. But you are Shimishi, and someone is not just Shimishi and out of the Sabbat without someone looking for her. And if they're told about where that someone was, they might come looking.
What about you? Where would someone find you if I wanted to come back and find you about this information?
The sewer.
The
But I
sewer?
don't recommend going down there. You should probably knock on the door of the closest clubhouse of the Russian mob, and then hope that word reaches me before a bullet reaches your face.
I can make it well known to you and any of your associates that I'm not above getting down into the sewers if I need to. There's a lot of things that go bump in the woods, and I think that they have prepared me for anything that you or your entourage could have with you. I'd be more than happy to meet you wherever you're at without going through the middlemen.
She kind of looks over and points at a man. His face is like bone and that has been stretched into a beard-looking shape. And says, well, I would have to get Dragomir's approval, but maybe that could be arranged to have a private meeting somewhere where his, what do you people call him? Well, his little servants of flesh, they don't roam and tear everything apart.
Yep, I'm not entirely certain of that. I'm usually a one individual show when it comes to getting things accomplished. It seems that middlemen are the reasons that things get mired like debts, because everyone wants a cut and then they think that they're owed unnecessarily. If you can go one-to-one, it can really cut out that bullshit.
Dealing one-to-one? I could also just come find you when I want something, but I don't have your pretty face. So me walking the street is usually an issue.
We all have more than one form that could be problematic in polite society, but I'm not here to be polite, and I don't think that you are either, given that you started this conversation with extortion.
Oh, you are smart. We'll be in touch.
Oh, hopefully you'll be able to bring Snuffles along too.
I'll be delighted to.
Could you do an animal ken roll for them?
The dog?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to know?
She just wants to see if she can make it do a trick or do something.
I'll tell you, it's a fabulous, so you know that it's not gonna do anything its master does not want it to do. But it is friendly towards you. It's not scared of you. You can actually reach out and pet it because you are you don't have the I don't know what to call it, but animals are usually afraid of kindred.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So she'll reach out and give Snuffles a little scratch.
It kind of licks your hand and wags its tail. Does not seem to have the insidious mind of its master.
And do you, by chance, Sophie, before you go, do you have any titles or any affiliations that one might know you for?
Just a name.
Just something? No doctor, no?
No, just a name.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You just serve my Jarl and brood father.
Mm-hmm. Understood. And she'll just look away.
And then we move to Ivan. Ivan. I don't want to say short, an average height woman with a smile that could light up the room approaches you. Like thick blonde hair. You see remnants of paint under her nails. And some places in her hair as well. It looks like she tried to wash it out, but was not successful. And she just walks towards you, and again she smiles, and it like if you're human and into women, it would make you go that kind of smile. But you are not, so you're not really faced by this. But she does seem kind and full of life, and she just reaches out and says, "Hi, I'm Lily. You paint, right?"
Sorry, what was that?
You paint. You like
I
art?
have in the past, yes. Lovely to meet you, and I'll take your hand and shake it.
She shakes it. Sorry, I have. She runs back to the table and carries back like a small little frame covered in cloth and reveals it, and it is a painting of you in this room. Actually, I have this for you. I didn't know what to do with it, and it felt right. It's really well made.
I'm fascinated that you already knew my likeness before I came here.
No, I paint the future, and I saw you, and I don't know. It kind of goes through my face. It's hard to explain, but I paint what I see, and so I can show it to people. And I knew we would meet, but I also don't know if we meet because I saw us meeting, and it's all confusing. But usually there's no changing a premonition, so I thought, why try?
A powerful gift.
It's okay. It gives me inspiration, at least.
Something to root us to the mortal world, no?
I believe that's important. I'm not... She looks around. I'm kind of worried for a moment. I'm not as old as the rest of them.
Well, I'm older than I look.
I get that sense. You have the eyes of someone who's seen a century or two. Sorry, I'm really good with people usually. It's kind of weird meeting someone that you had a vision about. I'm not used to, that. And I saw your past, which is also not common. Nothing terrible. I just you painting. That's how I knew, and your collection, I guess, or some of it. But sorry, I'm rambling.
Don't worry. I have a lot more paintings in my collection than I have made myself.
I'd love to see them. I'm with. She points over to some people sitting around. They seems the most lively of the bunch in here, the most human. We're sort of artists. We hang out together, and we'd love for you to come visit us someday. And we all have a different thing, but Matthias is our Jarl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's the oldest. He looks the oldest, but he is the oldest. And really great guy, though. Just like a powerful initiator of any art and creative decisions. Usually,
I'm sure you'll recognize a lot of the pieces I have in my collection. I'll make sure to bring some around.
I'm not really, I haven't studied art history, but I recognize talent. So, I'd love to see them.
Where do you have your domain?
Aalborg? It's the northern Jutland. I believe it's about 4 hours drive. But you can take the ferry, that's easier. It's you'll figure it out. Unless you have a plane or something, I don't know.
I'll make sure to visit.
You definitely should. They're pretty chill people and kind of just do their own thing. And don't kill people as much as the others.
That's fair.
A pleasure to meet you. Come down and join us for a drink if you want to at some point. I just wanted to say hi and give you this. I know it can be weird being new, so you have a friend.
Lovely
if you
to
want
meet
some.
you as well.
She kind of shakes her hand again and turns into this half awkward hug, and then she just walks away, kind of embarrassed. There's a lot of things going around the room. People are talking. There's a blonde woman, kind of wears a cocktail dress. Her smile is wicked as sin, and she yells as the pinstripe suit wearing is very offensive things like, "Hey Nico, how often do you fuck your sister?" and things like this. And you see the Jarl Matteo is kind of just holding one of them down, who is probably Nico, and all the people around her table, Melissa's table, they're laughing, and seems to be some animosity between them, and that besides like a few pushes and maybe a punch or two, people seems to be in like okay terms. At least they're not fighting here. So before we close out the session and everything, and we can of course continue this, but I want to like give you a chance to, if there's anyone, I know you don't fucking know anyone here, but if there's someone in here you want to go talk to or have a conversation with or is interested in anything, then please let me know.
Are there
May I
any
talk
Zmitzi? Any dragons?
Yes, the guy with the very obviously flesh-crafted bone face, the Dragomir, sitting with the Nos and, well, probably Giovanni. And you assume she's Shimishi because she has a robot arm and an eye that seems to be melted into her skin. So it's like one side, and then the eye that seems to act independent. She's blue hair, and there's a lot of digital electronic shit going around with her, and she seems to be staring at someone who she's having a conversation with, but the other eye is just doing its own thing, scanning the room, and she seems to be also looking down at this display on her arm, and if people were to look closer, they would see like a gun in that arm as well.
Mm-hmm. She'd be interested in speaking with her.
Yep, that is Nadja, sitting with the Norn Fortress, and other people. This is all women around that table for now, at least. The robotic eye looks up at you as you approach. And then she slowly turns the rest of her head. Hello.
Good evening.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. The pleasure is all mine. She like looks around to see if that's like the etiquette that's expected, but she's not here for it. I saw that you were here, and I'm new, so I thought to introduce myself. My name is Echo, and who are you?
Nadja. She stretched. It's her left arm, so it's a weird way to shake hands, but the other one is the robot arm, so she will the flesh arm she will shake your hand with. That's what I'm trying to say.
She'll shake it. This attachment and your appendage and your scope on your eye are all quite impressive.
Well, thank
Did you do them yourself?
Yeah, da. I study biomechanics, and my gifts provided a way to introduce them. Maybe decades ahead of what would be possible for a kind.
That's quite impressive. It seems that, and she'll look to the others who are likely Zmitzi as well, and look back. It seems that we all have some education or formal training that precedes us, including myself, but it seems that mine is less collegiate and more in the field, we'll say.
Well, you certainly give up something if you look like this, and she smiles. I can't really be walking around people. She points at the blue-skinned woman. She is my Jarl, and she kind of understands that.
And her name?
Luna.
Luna. Seems like a nice person. It's a company to keep here. Are you familiar with the area? Are you local to the area, or are
I
you?
believe we're neighbors, actually. I'm
We're
from
neighbors.
I'm from Rose Spring. 20 minutes by train.
20 minutes by train.
The rest of my pack, she nods towards the woman across, Katja. It's like a pale as a ghost woman. The rest of her is very Middle Eastern in appearance, apart from her fucking really, really, really pale skin. That's Katja. I know it's confusing on Nadja, of course. She deals with all the spooky shit. Emma over there, the blonde woman, who's just kind of smile and wave at you nonchalantly. She just kicks ass, and she's really good with like anything. Well, she's the people person.
What is
And
her name?
Emma.
Emma?
And of course Luna, who is just like, but yeah, but like, I don't know what's special about it. We're all women. We're like no men. Not that it's really important when you're dead.
Yes, women in STEM is a thing. Before and after death. Until final death.
They're just some things that men don't understand. Yeah. Even after death.
I was curious. I'm related, but also unrelated to them, where hunting's concerned. Can you use your eye as a scope? Like, can you have enhanced vision?
Yes.
That is quite impressive. And have you ever done it for anyone else?
No. Most people are not willing to go through the, let's call it surgery. Takes quite a while to, I mean, I could just experiment on myself and fix it whenever it was wrong, with my powers, but I've never considered doing it for someone else. But yes, I'm connected to the internet, so I mean, the only bad thing about it, not that it ever has happened or will happen, but if an EMP blows near me, I'm pretty sure I'll not have a good time.
Interesting. I was just curious. I've dabbled myself. However, I'm genuinely more interested in claw types, whether it be paw or claw, talon, things of that nature, depending on what the hunt is. But let's see, the vision is interesting and unique, something I hadn't seen before. So thank you very much for this conversation, and I hope that if you're ever in and around where we're at, to stop by and say hi, and or if we're in the neighborhood, maybe we can meet up in the future.
Definitely. Likewise, we're neighbors. We should be in touch. And the rest of the women kind of just wave at you, smile politely. The only one who seems to be having a very hard time with emotion is the pale, very white woman, who is, to your best guess, some kind of hiccup. She seems like the type.
And she'll give a polite bow and then look to see if she can see the rest of her pack.
Anyone else having a conversation with someone before we end? I know there's a lot of things, and we could also just leave it here, continue next time, but...
May I talk to the other Malkavian real quick?
Yes, you can try. He's still there, sitting on his chair with his eyes closed, not seeming to talk to anyone right now.
He's gonna walk on over. Hello there, sibling. How are you?
I am better than you.
Well, in what way? What ways do you mean?
Well, you're
taller than me.
You're the dam breaker.
The dam breaker?
You fled from the Nethers. Now you're here.
Oh, we don't need to talk about that business. Bring the mood down. Um, don't you... The rustic decor here. Look at this. I feel like I'm in a Viking longship, complete with the music and everything.
Yes, it smells very nice. It pleases the All-Father, and therefore pleases me.
Yes, the All-Father. I was talking to a fellow sibling, Marina. What are your thoughts on the lighthouse being lit again?
She is fire and plays with fire.
She does seem bright. She certainly knew quite a bit about me. You're not going to do that with me, are you? Well, you already have, never mind.
I have no wish to torment anyone. I only seek to enlighten.
May I ask what you wish to enlighten?
About the gods and their will.
What do you mean by gods? I've come to understand, in this very interesting land here, that the gods are, well, the vampires.
Yes.
I see. So this is more of a bureaucratic position than a prophet. You're a bureaucrat.
I hear them. They sleep.
Oh, I see. Do they have anything nice to say about me?
They told me you would find the horn.
A horn?
Yes.
Like a brass? Like in an orchestra?
Oh, I do not know what it looks like.
Very peculiar. You know, even though we come from the same persuasion, I was never given any of these sort of abilities. I'm quite wandering around in the dark, hearing little bits and pieces of echoes, you know. It's difficult.
The gods must have another purpose for you then. Some of us is seers, some are warriors, some are scholars, some are perhaps a skjall.
Skjall, I'm not familiar with this. What is a skjall?
Like a bard.
Sounds painful. Oh, a bard. Now that I understand. My ghouls like to play Dungeons and Dragons every once in a while.
Yes. You know, some people don't like that.
What, the Dungeons and the Dragons?
The ghouls.
Oh.
Frowned upon.
I thought this was the Anarch Free State. I can do whatever the hell I want. Within reason. I'm not killing anyone.
You can do whatever you want. There are
So they
actions,
just won't like it.
and there are consequences.
Oh, so there are those clutching their pearls at me. Well, what do the ones who sleep, what do they say about it?
There is food and them.
Oh. I'd rather prefer the bit about the horn. Well, You know, I was hoping I could give this to someone, and he reaches back in his waistband, and there's nothing. Oh, there's nothing there. See, I was going to bring a gift for someone. I was going to give it to you. You seem quite a sport. I thought I would give you a little gift.
Oh.
Oh well.
Was it the boomstick?
Yes, a boomstick. A very colorful way of describing it. Yes.
The fast one took it.
Oh.
I will take it from him.
Yes, I was hoping I'd give it to someone, butter someone up, but in a good way. You seem, if you have the word of the ancients in your ears, you know, you seem quite the person to come into, you know, cahoots with, as they say. And, well, also you're of another fellow child of Malkov. It's rather nice.
It is. There's not too many of us. And even fewer who are willing to listen. to really listen. And he turns his head and does all the gestures like you usually would do in a conversation, but his eyes never open. He does seem to be aware of where everything is, though.
You are quite a kooky character, my friend. My name is Walter Sullivan. And he does like a little bow.
No, it's not, Gustav.
Damn.
Yes, you broke the dam. When you left the Nethers.
Well, I mean a different dam. And if you could keep it down low about anything to do with the Nethers, Nether region or otherwise. If you could be a dear, please. Please.
Of course.
Thank you. Remember, I gave you a gun. I usually keep to myself, but I know if I do something for you, people do something for me. As we kindred, you know. I try to avoid our kind, but it seems, maybe looks back at, like, the pack. It's like, I sort of have to make compromises, but don't we all?
Yes, compromise. Compromise with the woman with wings and the horn of blood.
Horn of blood.
And the giant.
Woman with wings.
The giant as well. Be careful when you talk to the giant.
Are you talking about Nastia?
No, the giant.
I think is this one of those things I'll know it when I see it?
Oh, you'll see the giant. It's hard to miss.
Would the giant see me? Can I hide from the giant?
You can hide from the giant.
I think I'm gonna hide from the giant.
Good choice.
No. Jack and the Beanstalk shenanigans here. Anyway, I must be going in this world and the next. You have vine tattoos, by the way. What was your name again?
Ulf.
Ulf. Fine name. One syllable. I do like it. Very nice. And he gives a little pat on the back. A little slap on the shoulder.
He just
Feel
smiles.
Feel free to stop by my domicile. I think you know where it is. I'm sure the ancients can help triangulate the location for you. You've probably already seen it. It's kind of hard to miss, you know.
I won't come by. I rarely leave my temple, so, but...
Oh, I do not mean to intrude.
But if you're ever in Iceberg, come visit us. Maybe you'll learn about our faith.
Sure, yes. I will consider it. Anyway, Ulf, good evening. And he's going to saunter off and probably find some corner to hang out at for a little bit.
Well, anyone else have something they want to get out of? Let's call it Elysium.
I'll just make sure to introduce myself to all the Jarls.
Well, varying energies from them, and like you get the sense that they all seek, apart from Sarah, who actually seems like she already approves of you. The rest of them needs you to prove yourself. They're still measuring you. Nastia, John, anyone?
Not for John.
Not for John. John has Cloak of Shadows standing in the corner.
As I said, Nastia is spending the large majority of her awareness, like, clocking others. Like, how are they interacting? How young or old? How powerful? How significant? Where are the relationships between them? Type of thing. Like, she's taking in like a sponge.
I can. Can you give me what's your investigation, what profiling? You have that, right?
She doesn't have that.
I thought you were the stalker thing.
She does. Well, she has the stalker thing.
So,
but she's not a stalker herself. She fends them off.
Anything like an insight thing or investigation?
Yes. She has insight and she has awareness. So she has dots in both of those to a considerable degree. So
Okay.
yeah.
Since it's people we're talking about, then give me an insight.
Okay. And this is important for her, so I'm going to surge. And let's see here. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm just going to go with Resolve Insight here because she's spending a lot of effort and time looking at these folks.
Yep.
Surge.
You can do better than that.
I think I can do better than that. Let me just go ahead and... Okay, that didn't roll right. Interesting. I'm going to try that again. I don't know why that didn't roll right. Because I rolled a Resolve Insight. There we go.
That's better.
And I am going to re-roll that because there's 3 failures there. I'd like to... So that's 6 total successes.
Oh, how to do this? Do you have specific questions you would have answered, or do you just want me to go over like some things that pops into my mind?
Imagine for a moment that she is interested in knowing who here is like... She's looking for people that have a... Not necessarily important, because I know you'll just say, oh, well, there's the Jarls and whatnot. I guess what I'm trying to say, and I'm trying to articulate this, is that she would be looking for someone who clearly is there with an agenda. Like in other words, somebody who's a mover and a shaker, somebody who's there for their own reasons, but like not just normal... I don't want to deal with Dan and Balder like messing around with each other. I'm talking about somebody who's there for a good reason. Like she wants to know people who want to get shit done, but are also working against other people, kind of thing. Like the kinds of... She's looking for the other agents.
The group of Nos and one Shimishi that they have.
Yes, and she's aware that the Nos are already going around. I imagine she's clocked them fanning out to
the Shadow Ledger Syndicate, as I've done.
Okay.
They are very much trying to wheel and deal and do their thing and threaten. It seems.
And is there anyone who's responding to that in a more a visible way? Like is there somebody who's these guys right here, they are... because it was, if I remember correctly, and maybe I got this wrong,
the only ones who are willingly going over and having just talks with them are the Giovanni.
Okay.
Wanting to sit next to them. And it seems like the Giovanni, again, they're kind of alienated. Nobody wants to talk with them. The horsemen are constantly making jokes.
Right.
And the other group of people who seems to be having an agenda, or at least be a little bit more aggressive and not just here to have a good time, are the horsemen.
Right.
Which it's
Yeah. Now it was one of the
bunch.
shadow... It was one of the shadow ledgers that approached her, right? Or was that somebody else?
Yeah, that was the Jarl, the dragon, the brood father of
yes,
them,
yes, exactly. Yeah. So then she will she will take note of you said the Giovanni, who are mostly neutral, which is not surprising. The horsemen, who are a mess, which is not surprising. And then what was the other group?
Shadow Ledger Syndicate. I mean,
Then
you have the moody rock and roll crowd with Elias.
Right.
Seems to just be sticking to themselves. The artists, who seems very alive with Matthias, they seems to have they are very human to look at.
Yeah.
Like they seems to be very unfazed by everything that goes on around them with the blood and everything. And then you have in the upper left corner, at least if you stand near the stage, seems to be a bunch of intellectuals and philosophers, and you get the gist that they're in that kind of conversation about this is not about having a good time. They're actually talking knowledge and theories,
Scholars,
magic, religion, philosophy. That's all.
Yeah.
Two different groups that seem to be getting along quite nicely. I mean, varying, each their own area, but at least with the mind of I don't want to say a scientist, but yeah, you said it, a scholar is probably the best word.
So you've heard the phrase "who watches the Watchmen," right? So who's watching the Syndicate?
Everyone.
Not just yes, everyone, but like, is there anybody who's like?
I mean, there's a guy at the door who's not moved.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
He's just watching everyone.
Yeah.
Like a blonde guy, mid-30s maybe like late 30s, short hair. He's wearing a camo thing,
Right.
like
Army fatigues.
Yeah. Not like we would have, but just something that imitates it. It just seems to be the doorman. And he watches everyone that they behave, and nobody crosses a line that you shouldn't cross. I mean, people who are flashing eyes and using powers in here, they're not Elysium rules, but he's just there to make sure that people do not cross a line or frenzy or that sort of thing. And then there's...
Yeah, he's the bouncer.
Yeah. And with the help of his two stupid idiot goons who are both like 7 feet tall, and they tend to fight each other more than other people.
Okay.
But they all seem to be a part of Seraph's group.
Okay.
But yeah, just standing around mingling before we close out. It's about, I want to say 4 in the morning. You still have 4 hours of night before you're getting close to anything that resembles daylight, and even that.
So much darkness.
That is pushing it because it's probably cloudy and you wouldn't burn up immediately. But that's like 7 hours of daylight. That's crazy. But the guy you saw at the door who stole all your shit when you walk in, he suddenly just appears next to Sarah. Do you have celerity? I don't believe you have celerity. Anyways, he's fast. And he whispers something in her ear. And you get Sarah looks a little bit concerned, but trying to hide it. And then she just kind of gestures to the band so the music stops, and then talks to everyone and says, "Party's over, guys. Go home. Dawn is arriving." And then some are trying to hide it, but some people look genuinely scared. They don't panic and run towards the door, but they are in a rush to get out of here. And Christian just hands back your things with a smile. The gun.
Nastia is going to grab him if she can.
No, he's standing right in front of you, so...
She's going to grab his wrist while holding out the hand and be like, "Next time, just ask."
This is more fun. Sorry. You almost caught me, by the way.
She's going to squeeze. She's going to squeeze. She'll be like, "Next time, just ask."
Why not ask? He just smiles. People kind of scurry out the room, and all the Nos they're not there. Just fucking disappear. Leaving a Shimishi just sitting there going, Like you feel the sigh from him as he slowly gets up and starts walking towards the door as the only one visible. And also looking like a monster like the rest of them. And Sarah walks towards you guys to bid you farewell. It was a pleasure having you over. If there's anything you ever need, then don't hesitate to come visit me. If you're ever in inner Copenhagen, do come visit me anyways. So I can tell you about my rules and how you should conduct yourself. But, as I said, dawn is arriving and that means hunters. So go home before we all burn.
That we will.
The car is waiting for you.
Thank you very much. And I'll herd the pack out.
Yeah.